Happy Thursday, Brian Manning with your weekly update. Let's get right to it. First, I want to say I love spring. Spring is just my absolute favorite time of year. Trees are getting leaves. It's beautiful outside. You get some nice rainy days like today, and then you get sunny days. And spring is just such a glorious time of year. Seasons are wonderful. Change is great. And yeah, I just have to say how much I love spring. So let's talk about what's going on. We have so much to talk about today. Since it's Thursday, we're going to start with Friday of last week. So Friday of last week, we got some more twists and turns in this NAR case, the National Association of Realtors potential settlement that will go through in July. Now, last week, you had the Department of Justice potentially involved. They say that they may want to get into this. And from the settlement, it looks like that a seller can still pay a buyer's agent commission. They just can't advertise on the MLS. But one of the workarounds that a lot of people talked about was putting on their own website. Department of Justice stepping in, and this is not confirmed, this is just a twist and turn in the case, that they may interfere with that and you may not be able to represent buyer fees anywhere. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Just a lot of twists and turns there. Also, Friday last week, we had oil prices going up. You had the United States come out and say that it was anticipated that Iran was going to attack Israel. Of course, this was Friday of last week, so oil prices went up because war in the Middle East is not a good thing. And that's important to pay attention to, other than war not being a good thing. But oil prices impact inflation. And we know the Federal Reserve is looking at inflation. And of course, over the weekend, unfortunately, there was the attack on Israel, and it's a whole different topic we won't get into here. Monday this week, though, we got retail sales. So retail sales measures consumer spending. This is for the month of March. Retail sales were up 0.7%. This was double estimates. It's really crazy to see how resilient the U.S. consumer is right now and the amount of spending that's taken place. The core number, so the core number strips out some volatile items and big ticket items. This was up 1.1%. Expectation was to be up 0.4%. This is important because this plugs into GDP. GDP looks at growth of the entire U.S. economy. Federal Reserve is looking at this. So strong consumer spending, unfortunately, is going to be a concern of Federal Reserve keeping rates longer, higher for longer, because if consumers are still spending and inflation is not coming down, other than unemployment increasing based on consumer spending and inflation, it's looking like a higher for longer. From the prior months, we had some revisions as well. We had 0 in the prior months, and this went to an increase of 0.3%. So consumer spending still really strong. Tuesday this week, we get some feedback from CoreLogic. This is on rents for the month of February. So CoreLogic looks at what's called blended rents. So blended rents are a combination of people that have new leases and then lease renewals. So you look at new leases, lease renewals. For rentals, you have what's called a blended rent. This was up at 3.4%. Prior month was 2.6%. So that's a really big change to see blended rents move up that much, on a month-over-month basis. Then we get some feedback from NAHB. That's the National Association of Home Builders. Their confidence level remained the same at 51. So anything above 50 is considered expansion. Anything below 50 is considered contraction. So to stay above 51 shows positive feedback from the builder side. I thought was really important, and the takeaway here was that you're seeing less cuts in prices and you're seeing less incentives out there. So builders aren't feeling the pressure like they were before to cut prices and provide incentives out there to get home buyers into their properties. Then we heard from Jay Powell. I think this is really important as well. Jerome Powell says that he's confident we're moving towards the 2% inflation range. It's not happening potentially as fast as he wants it to, but he said he's going to get there. The most important takeaway of his speech was that he said he felt that the policy right now is appropriate and that they don't feel like rate hikes are going to be needed. So, been a little bit of a crazy week as far as mortgage rates are concerned, but getting a little bit of, we'll call it confidence there from Jay Powell, that they feel like they're appropriate was really good to see. And today we get existing home sales. So this is closed transactions for the month of March. This is always something very important for us to watch. On a year-over-year basis, the headline number was down 3.7%. I'm not really too worried about that because I think the fundamentals of the report were really good. What I mean by that is that inventory is up 4.7%. I can tell you of all the home buyers we work with, we stay in contact with our home buyers every single week, ask them how their home search is going. And for the longest time, the feedback we've been getting is that they just can't find the home that they love. So seeing inventory increase in my opinion, is actually really good. Also, days on market across the country went from 38 down to 33. That's a pretty substantial number. That's a huge change to see there, and that's really great to see. I also thought it was important that 29% of all homes sold above their list price. So in some markets, you're still seeing multiple offer activity. And the last thing that I was really excited to see, and probably the most excited to see, was that first-time home buyers went from 26% of all transactions up to 32. I can tell you from my own experience in our business right now and the people that we're talking with and who we're pre-approving that we're getting more and more first-time home buyers. They've saved money over the last couple of years. They're kind of sick of waiting on interest rates. They're motivated to buy houses. I'm seeing people that are jumping into the marketplace. We're working through monthly payments. We're working through affordability. We're looking at temporary 2-1 buy downs. And I can tell you just from our own business that we're seeing a lot more excitement on the front of first-time home buyers. Again, that's a third of your business if you're a realtor typically. So really important to pay attention to. I'm around all weekend. If you want to learn how we're closing purchase transactions in 10 days, that's right, 10 days, give me a call. If you're a realtor, take a look at our events page, and we want to invite you to some of our upcoming events, winning the buyer presentation, taking advantage of the NAR settlement. Happy Thursday. Hope you have a great day.